Nearly every Avenger spilled blood in the battle. In the aftermath, some were sent in to collect that DNA.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Woo!
And that's how I feel.
Oh man.
And that's our review.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Pack it up, send it home.
Yep, that's
We're
it.
done. That's the review. Tired of it.
Joining us. Thanks for
Thank
joining
you for
us.
joining us. Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you. Take some time out, and that's how we feel about Secret Invasion, especially the finale, a little bit, or how.
What a terrible finale.
Yeah, well, it's been a while since we reviewed any of this.
Welcome,
so now we can
everybody.
Welcome everybody.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again.
Yes,
Desmond, Jake.
Yes.
The other two stooges couldn't be here. Unfortunately, unmitigated circumstances, things of that nature. People got to hustle. People got to make money. Things got to happen.
Yep, they missed.
But we're here.
We're here. We're here to
We're gonna try our best
with my Barbie shades. My Barbie shades on. Got the tank on. Got the guns out for this show.
I have on my celebratory shades. I don't know why, but I do.
Oh, because we got things to celebrate. Told you, hey, it's been a while since we've been doing this on Sunday. Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Back in the war room.
We can celebrate back in the dad cave. We can celebrate the Ninja Turtles. Fantastic movie.
Fantastic.
Go see it if you haven't. We've already talked about it. What else can we celebrate? We could celebrate. I don't know. What can we celebrate? We can celebrate Blue Beetle coming out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, Blue Beetle. Yep, we're going to be doing that. So that's going to be a fun time.
We can celebrate the fact that Imagine still lets us in the theater. That's good.
Yeah, they still let us in, and the craziness.
That is a good thing.
And celebrate fine. Even though I didn't get my cool package, but I did get some of these cool little packages.
Whoa,
these old school.
What is that? I see Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong Racing? They're just Diddy Kong.
No, so these are like the old school Famicom. These are like the Japanese boxes, like games. So I was able to snag these up just for display purposes. I think just getting some of these like older console games in.
Pretty fucking sweet.
So happy about that. My other cool package has not showed up yet, but at least I got
where is that? What are we doing with that?
I don't know.
What are these guys doing over here?
We'll figure that out. But no, it's plenty of things to celebrate. And even though
lots of things to celebrate.
It was a disappointing, finale and everything else. Oh, we can also celebrate about you finally saw Transformers.
I did see Transformers. Fantastic.
Really, really good. So
it was really good.
You know what? Let's start on a positive note. Let's talk about that movie. If you guys have not seen Transformers as Rise of the Beast,
you should go see it.
You should go see it. You should
buy it. You should rent it. You should do something to be able to acquire it so that you can observe it through your eyeballs.
Yes, because if you don't want to rent it, it is on Paramount Plus. If you do have Paramount Plus, it's on there for you, and you can watch that.
That's where I watched it.
It was amazing, and like I said, it was kind of like me and Jake were saying. We're disappointed that we didn't see it in theaters.
Yes,
but you know what? I still, we still got 2 more sequels coming up in an animated. Prequel coming in, so we're definitely going to get something more because this was by far the best live action Transformers movie that came out
of all time.
Yep, all time. Yep,
well, you can say of all time easily.
If you enjoyed the first Avengers movie, that's like top on a lot of people's list. This is the Transformers version of it.
Yep.
Down to how they really did the characters, how they're setting up the big bad Unicron. They're setting that up. That's literally like the Thanos. I see that they're setting up for the future movies. And what this movie did well that I really liked is, even though there were human characters, it was really a Transformers movie. You got a lot of the Transformers, a lot of their issues, a lot more depth within those guys, and you didn't have to divert to the human character so much. So that's what I really like. You got the Transformers early, you got their flaws and what makes the all different from each other, and you had a very emotional and kind of, sort of unhinged Optimus Prime, which we didn't get in the other ones.
Yeah, he
had his like issues, because like in the Michael Bay ones, he was like the voice of reason. I'm Optimus Prime. I can't do no wrong. Whoop, I'm getting my ass kicked again.
What's good? Well, what's good, Matt?
What's up?
Thank you for joining us, gentlemen. Matt is actually new. Shout out to Matt. I met him at my sister's wedding. He was he was a groomsman for my now brother-in-law. I can actually say he's my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Tyler. So I met Matt at that wedding. He's got a Twitch channel. Don't remember what it is, but his name's Matthew Connor. So you can look him up. I'm sure he'll message me as he's watching this and tell me what it is, like or you can just drop it in the comments too.
Drop it in the comments.
Drop a link. Drop
a comment.
Drop your Twitch name. He streams. Overall, he's a cool dude.
All right,
so I appreciate him hopping in, taking a peek.
Very, very good. Very good. More good people to join in with us. And don't be afraid to going in the chat too. So if you want to sound off in the chat, please let it be known.
Please let us know. Even if you feel like maybe you want to sound off, we can squeeze you in on the screen too. If you feel like maybe you just want to sit from your car and rant for a minute about how one show was trash or how great it was.
Yeah, what anything we're talking about.
Yeah, we'll plug you into the show. Why the fuck not? I'm feeling like it tonight. Sure, why not?
Exactly.
But let's see what happened here.
The Transformers and how the other time that we got in this one is like it was different layers that we had with them, and that's what I really liked. That's what these movies were missing a lot with the Michael Bay ones. More of the Transformers
movie is missing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry.
It's true. It's true. You want him for it. He would be a good person if I need a big bombastic action scene, kind of like get his have him consult on some things like that. That's fine, but you're stopping right there. Anything else you don't want to suggest? Nothing else.
I mean, like if you think about it, like Hasbro, like Nickelodeon and Hasbro could have had some pretty cool movies, but he wrecked Ninja Turtles and he wrecked Transformers, like single-handedly.
Yeah.
By putting Megan Fox, not necessarily by putting Megan Fox in both of them.
Right. Yeah, she was
he just ruined it.
And had to just focus on, like I say, when he does the human characters, they really don't add too much depth. It's like eye candy, stupidity, and like, why do these people, why do the Transformers or the Ninja Turtles or anybody need them in this movie? You don't need them at all. And which in this movie, they did have the human characters, but at least they
shut up, Butters.
Fellas, yeah. Shut up, Butters.
Hey there, fellers.
What up, GMS?
How you doing, GMS, brother? How you feeling?
South Park reference.
Who doesn't love a good? Actually, you know what's funny? That intro video featured a South Park reference, and at the last minute, my sober self pulled it out. I created the video. I had smoked a little bit. Created the intro video, and then at the last minute, as I was sober watching it over again, I actually pulled the South Park.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I did.
What was wrong with the South Park one?
I felt like it was too long, even though it wasn't. Now that I'm thinking about it again, as my creative juices are flowing again, as I had just fucking smoked again, because it was an immediate cut from Sam Jackson saying that to then Cartman getting up and going, "Screw you guys, I'm going home," to then the Billy Madison reference, and I was like, I just feel like I felt like it was too much. Like we just needed one cut and then move on. And I like the Billy Madison one better because that just sums up a lot in one.
I got you. I got you. That makes sense. But
so Transformers. It's interesting when you said that they had like the human aspect to it. Because even though it felt like a Transformers movie, because partway through the movie, I was like, if this wasn't leaning into like a G.I. Joe thing, I don't think you really would have needed the humans at all for it.
Nope.
And that's what was I kind of enjoyed the beauty of that.
Yeah,
they created like a pretty good storyline. It wasn't corny. It was basic, but it wasn't corny. Mm-hmm. They didn't lean too heavy into it. They told you what was happening. They gave you one of the sad scenes with the clerk. You're like, we can't. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't like heavily focused on that. Like that was his motivation. But
his motivation,
hey, Optimal Primal was the shit, dog. I was fucking pumped. It made me laugh, but I was
Optimus Prime. Yeah, that's the name of it. Man. Beast Wars reference, man. Named after one of the good primes. It's like, yeah.
just ripping things heads off left and right.
And I would say, and having Optimus Prime get his little Mortal Kombat fatality on Scourge too, with the head rip off, with the Sub-Zero head rip off, and I'm like, good thing that's a robot, because that would have definitely a lot of the fight scenes and a lot of the basically kills that happened in here. If these weren't robots, this would have been a rated R movie.
That shit was nuts.
Compared to all the other fight scenes in a different, even like the Michael Bay Transformer. And the thing that I like about these fight scenes in this movie were very focused, and they weren't like, what was going on. Who was fighting who. It was very brutal. It's like if you were watching,
was beautiful.
Camera work was great. The fight choreography was good. It's like you're watching like a good martial arts action movie, like a John Wick movie, how you can see every hit, you can see them ripping off someone's head getting bashed in.
Fucking head in. He's like, I want a real fight.
He's like, man. Yeah. It is just like you get that in this movie. So it's like, all right, they know what they're doing finally with these movies, and that's what made me enjoy it, and that's what gonna make me excited for these movies going forward, is the fact that now I think they found their footing, because even Bumblebee before that, it still leaned into a lot of the human character aspects. It still wasn't nothing compared to this. We finally just get it.
If this was like the first one they had put out, I'm reinvigorated for it. Like, I'm ready to put the Michael Bay shit behind us, and let's see what you guys do. Let's see what the Hasbro universe does. Let's see. Now all these companies are gonna start creating their own fucking wild ass universes.
Well, they've been trying. Some of them has been trying for quite some time.
They have been. I'm kind of bummed out. Yeah.
Which one? You bummed out about which one?
Universal's Dark Universe didn't really work out for them, but
like the monster ones with the mummy and all that other one.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well, but I don't think it was well thought out. I think they just decided that on the fly. I think those movies were made, they were never connected, and just on the fly, Warner Brothers or Universal was like, "Oh, hey, by the way, we're creating a monster universe."
Yeah, surprise!
And
it's they think that it was gonna work. Like, all right, we're gonna get Tom Cruise and pretty much make Mission Impossible with the Mummy, which didn't.
Tom Cruise was like CGI. He's like, we're bringing a real mummy in this bitch.
Yeah, bring a mummy. Yeah,
bring a real storm.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well.
Do some witchcraft on her. Make sure she's real.
Yes, make sure. Yeah, I got this straight from Egypt. All the scribes, make sure we read it correctly. We have it.
Exactly. He was.
Tom Cruise definitely would definitely go those lengths to get a fucking real mummy.
to get a good movie done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
No. But no, I
but
remember
Hasbro
that
universe.
movie.
I can get into it.
Yeah.
Who else does Hasbro own? Who else could they throw in there? Let's think of some hypotheticals while we're thinking about it here.
Hasbro, their big ones is pretty much that they own is G.I. Joe, Transformers. What else?
Power Rangers,
Furbies.
I don't know if you could throw Furbies in there.
Furbies, Dungeons and Dragons.
They own Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, maybe.
But they're already doing something with that. Ghostbusters. Yeah. They already got.
Do they have Ghost? I guess they already got Ghostbusters going and G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. Okay.
Zoids. Ugly Dolls. I think they did an Ugly Dolls movie. So some of the stuff they did. They can do a Play-Doh movie.
That would be wild. Power Rangers. You can throw the Power Rangers into this.
Play-Doh. Power Rangers. They can do their own. Power Rangers and Transformers. You know what? I think that would probably work.
You could get
better than G.I. Joe. Because you already got the Zoid.
The Dragons. Yeah.
I mean, the Zords.
I can get into the Zord. Yeah, the Zords. Zords, right? Yeah, I could get into that.
And all that.
I could get into that. That'd be kind of cool.
They can do something like that a little bit later with everybody's doing their little multiversal shenanigans. And then they can. Man, but you know what? I think a Play-Doh movie could actually work.
What would you make a Play-Doh movie about?
Basically,
would you make it like the Lego movie, but like with Play-Doh?
You can do something like that because you saying with the Lego movie, it's kind of like the possibilities are endless.
Yeah,
that's literally with Play-Doh. You can have them transform into different things. This Play-Doh person trying to find purpose and have them go on like different wild shenanigans. So, but in the art style can definitely work for that.
Lego movie, but claymation.
Claymation. It's this.
Listen here. I'm listen here. I pick up what you guys are throwing down here. I like this. I like this idea. If I was working at Hasbro, I would approve this idea. I like this idea.
Because there's this
Lego movie, but claymation. That's a good one.
That would 100% work. Yes, and that's the thing.
I like that.
And the thing about it is, it has to be 100%. I know claymation. It takes a long time with it, but it would work best if it was.
I'm thinking Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah,
I like it.
But there's this one game that came out on the Wii U. It was Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, and it did like a claymation sort of thing. So I would say take time out, just kind of watch just the initial like first trailer of it, like the beginning movie of it. And then you can kind of see like, oh, okay, this could work because how that art style works. They did a claymation sort of
what is this
thing on it. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. It came out only on the terrible Wii U. But if you look at the trailer and kind of like how, and just look at it and how it's made and how that looks, that's literally how they can do the Play-Doh movie.
Okay.
So it's the Weeble. You can say like the gameplay trailer and just see how it looks and how it all looks that way.
Oh yeah. Okay. I dig what you're saying. All right. Yeah.
And kind of like how it's kind of like stiff and kind of like this, and it's kind of like like if someone was to play with Play-Doh, kind of like how the Ninja Turtles movie and how the art style that they did is just like, oh, if a kid was doodling this with colored pencils and how the hits and stuff look. So because it didn't look like Spider-Verse, it had its own art style. How like the shading was very rigid and it was very it wasn't smooth at all. So it had like some imperfections with the art style, which gave it some character. Like, okay, a kid is kind of like, drawing this, doodling this in their free time with their Crayola, crayons or colored pencils. And and you do something like this and kind of give it a little bit more character. It's not perfect. Give some imperfections to make it give it a lot more character. So like in that Kirby trailer, everything does kind of like have like a stiff motion to it. But if you were to play with Play-Doh, you kind of move them like this, but still have it in a way that it looks decent, but it's kind of separates itself from other claymation, other animated movies that are out there. So I think that'll be one. That's one that will like take people off guard, just kind of like how the Barbie movie took people off guard. You do a Play-Doh one, and
Are you
the
listening to us, Hasbro?
Yeah, you listening? Get us on there. We got some ideas with your IPs. We'll throw some
Power
ideas.
Rangers. What if Hasbro? Now this just might be a crazy idea, but you could completely change. Well, no, don't do that. I might fuck up the lore.
What?
Don't
do it. No,
I
want to hear it now. Throw it out there. Now?
Well, I was gonna say, what if they did some extra corny shit, and in order to integrate the Power Rangers, they had that as like a division of G.I. Joe that's just been around for, or just old. They're just old G.I. Joes or some shit. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how you would integrate Power Rangers, but I think they should just be in their own universe at that point, because you got some good lore there too.
Mm-hmm. I like they have their own lore. You have lore in there because, like we were talking about on Friday, about like how G.I. Joe traditionally was pretty corny. It's like it had a message at the end, like now you know, and knowing is half the battle, sort of thing. So it just really
is out of trouble.
Yeah, so you can take like who some of the G.I. Joes are in there, and you already have the bad guys with the the Cobra Commander and all those guys there. You could easily kind of copy and paste those in there, because those are kind of based in those are military people. You can put that in the Transformers universe easily, versus Power Rangers, where other worldly phenomenons are kind of around. And you don't want to run into the Michael Bay situation where it's like, oh, Transformers been around since the medieval times, so these medieval people knew this and all this other stuff. It kind of contradict the other movies from previous. Like, what? You don't want to run into that kind of issue. I think they're kind of doing a good job how they're establishing everything from
that origin story was dope.
Yeah, the 80s, the 90s, and kind of like going through these different decades and understand like, oh, okay, the Transformers were here for, came here around this time, or, the Beast Wars, that all were there already pretty much. So I think they're kind of cleaning up and not make it as messy, and kind of streamlining a lot more things going forward, which is very important. Because you ain't got base explosion, Megan Fox's ass, and you don't want things to kind of take away.
You don't want them to go the Michael Bay way.
No, we've seen enough Megan Fox ass and Shia LaBeouf.
Unfortunately, man, what a shame.
Yeah, whatever.
Damn, man.
He lives
his own life. It doesn't directly affect us.
You know what also does it
movies were trash.
Yeah, what also is possibly gonna be trash, and I wouldn't say direct. It doesn't directly affect us because this shit's gonna get scrubbed. You heard about how the Aquaman had all those reshoots, and they had Michael Keaton's Batman and Ben Affleck's Batman shoot different stuff in the movie.
So dumb. Can we get that canceled?
Or
did they spend too much money on it like The Flash? The Flash was a decent movie, but hopefully,
what has happened if all this stuff gets pushed back? The James Wan, the director, that's what it is. James Wan. Yep. Juan said he will sue if this gets pushed back anymore.
Why, dude? Don't put your garbage on us. All right. If it's not, I mean, who knows? It actually could be a fantastic movie, but it doesn't sound like what. Why are we putting all these different Batman? And granted, I love Batman. Look at the wall behind me.
Yeah,
I fucking love Batman. but you guys are gonna oversaturate it. And everyone's gonna be tired of it.
Yeah,
most people are gonna be tired of it. I'm never gonna be tired of it, but like, let's be real here. If you're telling it, that shit just pisses me off too. Like if I watch the movie and Michael Keaton's Batman shows up, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Some multiversal shit. Let's go, Batman. Hooray.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Affleck's Batman shows up. Oh, Ben Affleck, get to see him one more time. Hooray.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But then if I walk out of the theater and they're like, well, you could have seen both at the same time. I'd have been like, why didn't you give me both at the same time? Why are we dropping? Why are you telling me all this bullshit? Why are you airing your dirty laundry?
And they should have just did it. They should have just did it because you're literally. I don't get it either. One, they should have just kept it in there because they said, "Oh, test screening was bad." Who gives a shit at this point? This universe is dead. This movie has no bearings going for. Might as well make as much money as you can.
Release the full 3.5 hour un-CGI'd cut and just let us just
take it apart.
Done with it, man.
Just throw it out there. Like I say, put it on Max.
Yeah,
throw it out there for free. And just for a 2-for-1, you guys want to do a double feature? Hey, we'll give you Batgirl 2. Here you go. We'll kick
I don't
that.
know if they're ever gonna show that.
We'll kick that in your head for a little bit.
I'd be very interested to see if that cut ever gets released.
You know what? They said it was an accidental promo when this like at comic book shops where they have like, the stand for Blue Beetle coming out and you can get like different Blue Beetle comics. On the bottom of there, it has an advertisement for Batgirl on the bottom of it with all the rest of the DC movies. It's like, someone pointed that out. It was like, but you never know. You never know.
Nah.
They might sneak it out.
They might. They did do the Snyder cut.
Yeah,
they might. You never know. But I'm tired of all these. I'm tired of the cuts. Like, just be done with it. The movie is what the movie is. I don't
do what you need.
If you want to drop a DVD with a Blu-ray with some deleted scenes, cool. I'm good with that.
Exactly.
But just stop with the rumors of the cuts and the different people and the reshoots and
you're literally sinking your movie, no pun intended.
Yeah.
That's what they're literally doing. And then you have your director saying, I'm gonna sue if you guys keep on pushing.
Like, what are we doing?
So like, what are we doing by now? And nobody is talking about it. We have not seen one trailer or nothing about this movie. Nothing about the Aquaman.
It's supposed to come out like Christmas of this year, wasn't it?
Oh no, it still is. It's still planning on being that, even though they're still like, no, it doesn't seem like the move. They're happy with what's going on. They should do what they did.
We're 3 months away. I'm looking at my watch.
Yeah, it's coming up. They should do what they did with the Flash. Fuck? They need to do what they did with the Flash. Lie to us. Lie to us like they did. They said the director, all these directors, and saying this is the best super movie I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, y'all got paid. Y'all lying to us.
Tell me them lies, them sweet little lies.
Those lies.
But they can't even lie about this one. That's how I knew. That's how I knew The Flash was going to be at least a halfway decent, pretty good movie. Because if you can at least lie about that being one of the greatest comic book movies you've ever seen, like for at least you to be able to lie, for you to set the bar that high, you at least think the movie is at least halfway fucking decent.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like you can't you couldn't even lie about Batgirl and you can't even lie about this. So just don't, you know what I mean? Like
it's gonna be you couldn't lie about this. It's gonna be it's a big shit pile. It's like you couldn't make this, you couldn't dress this one up. Even you would think you can dress this one up better than you have Ezra Miller tied to your other movie in that Dennis the Menace to Society that they had attached to it, and y'all cleaned this one, and you couldn't get the lovable Jason Momoa a shot.
He's America's sweetheart. And you can't get this guy's movie off the ground. He's off doing something else too. He hasn't mentioned a goddamn thing about Aquaman in like 2 years, dude. I don't even think he said anything about the Flash movie. Like, I don't even think he like.
Nope. He's like, what do y'all like?
It, promoted it, nothing.
He's like, I'm ready to be Lobo at this point. He's like, just make me Lobo. He's ready to be Lobo.
Like, what are we doing here?
Because he's
what are we actually doing?
No, you couldn't give Jason Momoa a fair shake at all. You guys lie to us. They stuck with the CGI lie in the Flash. I'm like, y'all really dying on this hill that this CGI, this shitty CGI was meant to happen.
I'm dying on that hill.
Y'all stepped on that hill and just took all the bullets. It's like, no,
I'm dying on that hill.
Believe it. No, that CGI was not intentional. Stop it.
Intentionally bad.
Intentionally bad and everything.
We have got to get this movie out, is what they said.
Yeah, and that's why so much stuff felt so uneven at the end of the movie. I know we talked about it. Go watch our Flash review, and we definitely went through it like there. Yeah, or you can watch it yourself and come back and you can watch it and see what we had to say about how they kind of just shoehorn a lot of that shit towards the end of the movie. It's like, we have to put this movie out. It's what they're doing also to, and I don't know why they don't do the same with Aquaman and just put it out there, lie to us, put all this stuff. And now they definitely can't do it with the strike going on.
No, not at all.
You can't get nothing. But
I forgot about that. That's kind of Whoops.
And speaking of the strike, they pushed Craven's movie a full fucking year.
I don't understand these pushbacks. Why a full fucking year? Why are we doing this?
It makes no sense.
Get an explanation. It's not like it's a CGI heavy movie. It looks like you guys are using.
And it's also not
practical shit other than just the big ass fucking animals, which they look fine in the trailer to me.
Yeah, and the biggest thing I think what it is too is that the trailer wasn't a bad trailer. It actually did the movie justice. Everybody was kind of and how they watched the trailer and they're like, oh, this is they're getting. I
poked my head around the corner. I said, wait a minute,
they're doing the thing that it's like, what? They're doing the thing that I said they should have did, like what they needed to do, what they did with Blade, how they made the Blade movies in the 90s work. The very first one, no one knows that's a Marvel character, but I'm going to sell you on a badass person fucking up some vampires in a cool ass way. I want to go see this movie. Because no one does, because people tend to forget. Everybody saying, "Oh, it was Spider-Man start off the comic book movie, Revolution or the X-Men." It was Blade.
It was Blade.
It was Blade, but nobody gives it that because they did a good job of selling the cool factor, and that's what they did with the Craven trailer. Just have him going there, beating shit up, and being very brutal. And
really, yeah. I was gonna say, really, it started with Keaton's Batman because I think that kind of sold the world that you could make a dark comic book movie, and then Blade showed that you could make a dark, violent comic book movie, like with obscure characters.
Rated R.
Blade took. They were like, okay, people want to see like they can handle a darker level. They can handle a darker level comic book movie, and then but now we're just gonna take it and turn it up a notch, and they turn it up like 10 notches because the first Blade is fucking bananas.
There's that, and the second one is the best one, hands down.
I think the second one is too. The second one has my favorite scene in it. Second one has my favorite all-time Blade scene in it, and that's the shit with the steak where he's fucking with Ron Perlman.
Oh yeah, Ron Perlman. Yeah, look at
twisting the shit in his face,
and then put the little explosive device on the back of his head. And I like it. And also it was directed by Guillermo del Toro, and I like his movies. He did well with Hellboy and stuff.
He always does movies.
Yeah, but Craven getting pushed back a full fucking year. That makes I think that might change. I think that might if the
you think they just did that. They just need to hit the panic button.
Yeah, because if it lasts because it's coming out. Who knows how long the writer strike is gonna kind of last? It won't give them enough time to do the advertising part of it. But you know what they could have done? They could have did the Disney route. Just have all your Disney characters go out and on the red carpet and and do little dances and just have like people just go grab some Marvel people, Marvel actors, and just go out there and start doing some moves. Just get some cosplayers and throw them on the red carpet and just have them do some stuff around there. That's obvious. They could do something simple like that if they want to advertise it and still keep the movie on that kind of.
Nah, they won't.
Line.
They won't do it. I don't know why they won't do it, but they won't do it.
They won't do it, but that movie's eventually gonna
that movie's gonna tank itself.
Craven?
Yeah, I think so. Because you had a lot of people. I think you had a lot of people excited. No, I think you had a lot of people excited, and then you like you said, to your point, I mean, like it might have pissed a lot of people off.
I don't think it can. I think they're gonna move it back up. I'm giving you, mark this down. This is what it's gonna be. It's gonna come out April of next year.
25?
2024.
So 24, sorry. So about a 6-month pushback, you're thinking.
Yeah. Just so they can kind of like they feeling this kind of out, because movies nowadays, especially ones that are done, they play around with moving them around. Flash got moved around so many times. Aquaman got moved around so many times. And it's like these movies are done, but we keep on pushing it back. So there's different. We want to move this up a little bit. So everything's fine. The writer strikes is over with. Everything's cool. Jack that bitch up. Move it back before the summer. Because I don't think it can have its time in the sun without being really bothered by anybody. Because there's no Marvel stuff coming out the summertime at all of next year. Since everything's getting kind of pushed back, Deadpool.
Is everything getting pushed back? Yeah.
Yeah, with everything getting pushed back,
everything will get pushed forward after that, though.
We'll see. I think that's also why they're pushing it to a year.
It's just hitting the panic button. They're just like pushing.
And also hit the panic. And also, I think Craven, you want to push it out to a year. Look at what the MCU's doing with maybe Deadpool and what they're going to do with their slate. You don't want to go against, even though people might say whatever you want about those Marvel movies, you don't want to go up against that.
You don't want to go up against Deadpool. That's the one you don't want. That's the one you don't want to fuck around with, and you don't want to fuck around with the Avengers.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around with
those. Are the two you don't want to fuck around with.
And Marvel, if a Marvel release is coming and your movie is a week before, a week after that, you don't want to be around when that goes, because people are gonna go see it to either enjoy it or tear it down. It doesn't matter. They're going to get butts in those seats, and it's going to take away from the movie that you want to put out. So I think they're kind of just all right, we're going to come back here, Craven, just a little bit. We're going to say it's going to be a year. It's not going to be a year. We just want to wait until everything else kind of, because I think because people are happy about that trailer, and Sony's finally, yes, we finally got one. We failed with Morbius and everything else. We finally got something good. We don't want to blow this up. So
I still haven't seen Morbius.
Don't.
I never plan on it, but I feel like I actually have not.
If you want to just watch it and you just kind of like, this is why this is a shitty movie.
I've seen clips on the internet.
I would say
I understand why. Yeah, like
the clips don't do it justice.
I'm good. I'm so good. I don't need any of that.
No one does. And I hope that this is the one thing I hope that doesn't happen during the Craven like post-credit scenes.
Oh my god.
Is that
Tobey Maguire shows up or some dumb shit?
Oh no, Tobey Maguire, you ain't gonna see none of those guys. Well, you know who's gonna show up?
No, don't do it.
The Sam Jack of the Sony universe.
Don't do it.
Michael Keaton.
Don't.
Toombs is coming up. Vulture's coming in.
I'm
putting up a team. I'm putting a team together. And then you see Jared Leto's like, yeah. Pop out the
just
back
pops
of
out of
Morbius.
nowhere.
Morbius, yeah. Hello.
with Scorpion, dude.
Oh God, yeah.
Who fell in the pool and everything. He's got him recruited too. Yep. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'll never support another Sony movie again.
Watch.
No, that's a lie because I'll watch Madam Web.
Yep, they're setting up that stupid Sinister Six movie.
Can't. No, they can't do that. They have to just hit the reset button. Craven is the reset button. Maybe that's why they pushed it back here.
Nope.
And they said we just gotta start from scratch.
We're gonna get
just start from scratch, please. Just
how it is. I'll tell you how the end credits. This is how the end credit scene is gonna happen.
No,
Toombs is gonna come with Morbius, show up with Craven. It's like, hey, I see that you like hunting things down. Well, there's somebody that we really need to recruit, and I think you might like this hunt. And guess what? They're going to show Eddie Brock.
Oh my God!
And then it's like,
handle it.
And then you're going to see what the yep. And then Craven's going to smirk
he can't. There's no shot.
Yep, and that's what's going to happen.
It's going to happen. They go hunting Venom.
Yep.
I can't. No, you can't. No.
And they're going to try to help them recruit. That's going to be like a part of the Sinister Six movie. Is that they're going to have a villain, but it's going to also be recruitment. Oh, we need to get Venom on board too.
That is despicable. They can't do that. They better not do that.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it right here.
Right now? You're gonna call it right here, right now. That's how they're gonna take us through this glorious joyride of a blood infused gore fest, and then right at the end they're just gonna shit the bed. As Sony and Marvel have tended to be doing lately.
Hey,
we've come full circle. It took us 42 minutes and 15 seconds, but we did it. We have come full circle, sticking the landing.
Something that they did not do well.
No, not at all.
With this, oh God, man,
horrendous.
We've been talking about it. We were loving this show for weeks. Everybody
hyped for this show.
Hyped about it. We were like, no, Rhodey can't be a Skrull. He's a Skrull. We were wrong. Oh my goodness.
I even backed Maria Hill's death. That's for nothing.
That was for nothing. I was like, all right. I didn't like it, but again, Secret Invasion. So we're giving a whole, just to let you guys know, we're doing a whole series review right now. So if you haven't seen it, well, fuck you. You should be able to know what's going on, and all this stuff on the internet. You've seen what was going on, so and it's been weeks by now. Y'all should know what's going on.
Yeah,
but everything kind of anticipated you, like what's going on, and then when you started to get towards that last episode, like the penultimate episode where Nick Fury brought his little vial out, when we showed like, yo, like your intro package showed that they got all that stuff going on and clean up. Yeah,
that's all. I mean, like it was. Right, I mean, like it was it was this big. This right here. There's a vial of all the.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Just to.
Ooh. What what were they doing out there? Just like scraping rocks with blood on them, like just to make sure, like
it didn't make a lick of sense. Like, okay, yes, we understand that. Yeah, all these Avengers shed blood during the battle, but not just only Avengers and all the different kind of goons and everybody else kind of got that, but. You keep talking. I was like, I'm going to pull up the list of all the different.
Oh my God!
Stuff that they have.
Let me get this straight. Basically, we go from. So basically, we go from straight espionage in the first episode. It's all espionage from having the sweaty dude with the rolled up sleeves, with a giant conspiracy board getting killed, to the main guy's right hand person who should never have to dies.
Let's not forget.
You have a massive explosion that kills fucking 5,000 people.
Yep.
Men, women, and children. And then from there, it's like
you frame Nick Fury.
Kidnap the fucking president. You frame Nick Fury.
Which is like, okay, smart.
Which it never felt like he was on the run. At all. Like, I get it. Like, he's Nick Fury, so like he just goes wherever he goes.
He can go. He knows different spots.
Never once felt like he was really on the run. Then also we find out he's married. Box check.
Yeah.
Let's see. Married to a Skrull. Box check.
Married to a who decided.
Let's see what else. What else happens? Talos dies.
Yep, he dies. He dies for sure. We
Gravik
thought Gaia was dead. Yeah, but
turns out she took the Super Skrull serum,
or did the little.
So she experimented on herself. Got it.
Yeah.
So
through the whole thing,
and then basically you created a character that doesn't. You no longer need the MCU. I don't know if I've told you guys this, but this is you no longer need the MCU anymore. At this point, there's no point at all for any conflict at any given time. You could just call Gaia, because we're talking like Thanos, Ebony Maw, Drax, Groot, Captain America.
You got Captain America.
Two Captain Americas, basically, because you got Bucky in there.
Yep, you got Gamora, Thor, Hulk, Black Panther.
I
don't know how he bled in that battle, but whatever.
So right off the bat, there you've got Thor, a fucking god.
Yep.
And you've got Hulk, a fucking overpowered, gamma radiated fucking freak beast.
Yep.
You've got T'Challa, who's eating fucking purple hearts and has freak level strength, like superhuman strength.
But doesn't make sense because he has the vibranium. How do they get his? So like I said, they're not getting that. But you got Captain Marvel, Captain America. We saw her stupid Drax arm.
So now you've got Captain Marvel, who they touted as the most powerful being in the Marvel universe at one point. So then right there.
Yep.
All right.
Mantis.
Okay.
We saw that. Valkyrie.
Okay.
You got Valkyrie. And now on the other side, where we got the bad guy, not so much the bad guys, but we got Korg. Yeah, I guess
Korg bleeds.
Whatever.
Rocks bleed. Okay, cool.
Abomination.
Down. Okay, sure. Where was he? I didn't realize he was in the Battle of Earth.
Ghost from Ant-Man 2. So that's why she was able to phase. I'm like, what Avenger in the battle was able to phase through stuff? I was lost when I watched that fight.
But when was Ghost she wasn't in the battle on Earth?
Exactly.
That makes no fucking sense.
Obviously the Outriders, so the goons that are around.
All right, that I can see because you get blood from them. They bleed. All right, understandable.
The Black Order, all the Black Orders. So you have Corvus Glaive, Proxima Midnight, Ebony Maw, Call Obsidian, and of course the big bad himself. She's got Thanos DNA running through her blood.
So let me get this straight. Thanos is like considered one of the most, and Guardians of the Galaxy too. He's touted as one of the most powerful beings.
He's pretty much
not the powerful being in the universe.
He is
before he
an Eternal. Yeah.
He is an Eternal. That's true. I forgot about that. That is 100% true. He's an Eternal.
Oh man, reading this list pisses me off so much.
And so she basically has all of those powers. She has all those powers. And so like, why do we need anybody anymore? Like, why are we even talking here? You literally built like, and then just for shiggles, just for shiggles, shits and giggles, I went back and watched a wee bit of it. Right, was watching a wee bit of the M battle and blah 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 blah, and I noticed something quite hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Even her jacket is like super scroll because it came back and like went back and forth as she did.
Yeah.
So like she her like arm turned into Drax's arm. And then like it like phased back and it turned into like just a regular jacket again. And then she had a Hulk hand and then it turned back into a regular jacket again. And I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on? Like she should like, obviously you can't do this because it's a Disney show and it's just, but like for all intents and purposes, she should have been like almost completely naked by the end of that fucking battle,
right? Yeah. Like what?
At the very least, shirtless like Gravik was. Like Gravik should at least make sense. And I understand why she had to have clothing, but she should have at least maybe a tank top.
Yeah, easily a
down
tank
to
top.
The sports bra. Like there's no fucking way you run through all those powers and not like not rip your jacket. Get the fuck out of here.
Right, we've been through this in the She-Hulk show and like how it's like spandex. You need spandex, but apparently whatever materials the Skrulls have in their clothing, or at least Amelia Clark had
with it,
it probably went towards the Pappy whiskey.
Maybe she was
the
wearing
clothes.
Maybe Pappy's whiskey. Maybe she was wearing the jacket when she was in the thing. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what happened. So she was dressed up as Nick Fury and like, maybe the jacket acquired some of the powers and some of the DNA and was able to form with it. I don't know. Maybe they're just lazy over there. I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense on how everybody else's DNA were supposed to get in there. Like, because Ghost wasn't there.
Yeah.
Abomination wasn't there.
Yeah.
It didn't. Okay.
It didn't make sense. That does not make sense.
And the stupid thing about it, like, okay, you have this vial that literally has God level DNA in there, and your biggest plan was to say, here's the vial, go leave to another planet and leave us alone.
Yeah, he was a big old bitch in this show, man.
Oh my goodness. Why? You know what? It really ruined
made him
a bitch, a stupid idiot, bald
an old man, like an old man on the porch. He was an old man on the porch. I felt bad for him like the first 2 episodes, right? Like the train scene with Talos and like the death of Marie. I was like, oh man, he is going through it. And then like kind of towards the end, I was like, he's just limping along, having a pity party.
And it just shows you, and they also put it clear in the show that Nick Fury is definitely not that great of a agent.
Mm-mm.
He has some skills, but as far as him being ahead, let's just say this: Olivia Colman's character, Sonya Falsworth, I think that's what it was. Her character, that's what Nick Fury should have been. Her character was
she out Nick Fury.
Exactly. That whole entire show,
which is wild.
It was like, what the hell?
Makes no sense. Makes absolutely no fucking sense.
The things that Nick Fury was doing and the things that she was doing, it's like she was more cunning, more ahead of everything, smarter with her moves. While Nick Fury is just like, dog, you really weren't nothing unless the Skrulls were helping you out, do stuff, and you kind of
what it really felt like. Felt like he was just old and decrepit wandering around.
Right. Yeah. It's like, all right, we get there. Some people, like, we watch like players in the NBA. It's like, all right, we know that your skill level is getting down and it's time to hang it up. I can't do this anymore. That's what Nick Fury was looking like during that whole thing. It's like, dog, why are you still on the court? It's time for you just to hang it up.
Even like me, like I hated the bullshit when like somebody, I don't remember who he was talking to, Maybe it was Sonya, but there's a scene where he's talking to someone, and they're like, maybe it's time, like, for you to, call in some of your friends, like some of the big guns.
No, he was talking to Sonya.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta do this on my own." It's like, no, you can't, bro. You can't even walk. Stop. Like, just stop. Why are you trying to have this heroic moment? Just shut the fuck up and call somebody.
You literally can call. You have the pager for one of the strongest Avengers that can literally come down there and solve this whole problem in a matter of minutes for you. And
I'm so tired of this shit, bro. Like, I'm so tired of this bad writing. It's lazy.
And I'm fine with it. Like, okay, we can't make this a big deal because I still love the Skrulls, and I don't want a big, huge, thing to happen that, we have aliens living in among us and they're infiltrated. Let's handle this underneath so we can kind of handle this by ourselves without a whole thing going, blowing up in front of our faces. We don't want Skrulls to die and people turning on them and just killing random people. Let's handle this kind of covertly and let's just handle it that way. I was completely fine with that. All right, you don't want to call the big guys in because that's just gonna make everything a lot more louder. We don't want that. So I get it. But everything after that, it just started just to fall apart. It's like, all right, Rhodey becoming a Skrull. Okay, fine. Have at it. That's a good twist that, we have somebody that close to the president and all these people. That's fine. But the fact how they went about it, like, you don't know that was a Skrull. You knew something was up this whole entire time. You had him drink the whiskey and to kind of track him and do all this stuff. You should have put him away a lot sooner. And why didn't Gaia say nothing about him being down there with the rest of those people? She knew he was down there.
She's a hoe for that one.
Right.
Also, you can't take away those moments by saying that Rhodey's a Skrull. Since Civil War.
I don't believe he was a Skrull since Civil War.
I think they're gonna retcon it. Well, because that's what the director said.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Sorry. I was like, all right,
they're gonna retcon it and be like, oh no, it was another time.
They need to punch that director in the face and tell him to shut up because he's messing up a lot of timeline stuff.
He's not messing up timeline stuff. He's ruining. Like he's ruining like moments within the MCU that are supposed to be iconic moments, like this Tony Stank moment, and obviously his death, the funeral, like him and Happy, like they're ruining those kind of moments.
And what they're trying to say is that, they're really, really trying to lean this on the Armor Wars movie, where it's like, I was going for all this, and have that part be in the movie, him going through all these different emotions on how he missed all these things that happened. And him doing that, we don't need that. No, we don't need that.
If you give me 6 episodes of that, I am done. At least with TV shows.
Armor Wars is a movie.
Oh, is it?
Yep, they switched it from a show to a movie.
I'm done. It doesn't need to be a movie.
It's a movie.
It doesn't even need to be a show. I'm being so hypocritical too because I just was thinking like some of these shows should have been movies and some of these movies should have been shows, but no.
Yeah, no. I'm not too happy about it, but the fact
that's what they do, no.
And I think I don't think it's a very, very small elephant in the room, but I know I was trying to mention this earlier, and this is the one that really kind of also I had to scratch my head on this one, that everybody that was down there in that basement, Everett Ross was down there. You're telling me a person that can go to Wakanda and can get infiltration to some fucking vibranium and tell me the Skrulls didn't do nothing with that?
Perhaps they were waiting.
So you have one of the few people,
or maybe they already have it. Who knows? I don't know.
No, they don't have that. They didn't do shit with no damn vibranium.
Not yet, perhaps.
No, they would have brought it up, did something with it. Everett Ross was a footnote in the fact that he was there in the beginning.
They needed a cameo. They needed some juice.
But
we know what they fucking did. They put all the juice into the first 3 episodes and had no idea where they were gonna fucking go with it.
It was stupid. It was
dumb.
That was the one that caught me off guard. I was like, oh, that really was. So they really took Everett Ross there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm like, what the? So that's what got my head going. I'm like, wait a minute. So you had him. So how long did you take him? So you're telling me if he was there for Wakanda Forever storyline?
I don't think he was there for that. But that's the big question: is when was he taken?
When was he taken? And they really squandered. You're really worried about this vial, but you can get super tech. The ability to possibly get super tech.
Squandered. I mean,
they really wanted.
There's a lot of missed opportunities here. There's a lot of swings and misses. I feel like a lot of homework was not done, and I not that I can judge because I never do my homework,
but you got at least you like if you had like a book report to do, and you at least you'll go online, look at the cliff notes, or go online to see at least what.
Nobody in the writer's room knew what was going on. Nobody that read that script was like, "Hey,
it'd be like, hey, no, it's like, hey, I know they told you not to read the comic books, but probably don't do this because, kind of like."
Here's the thing: is that you might. Well, excuse me. You might not want to read the comics. Okay, fine. Don't base it off the comics. But at least watch the movies. Go back and watch the shows.
Exactly.
Figure it out. Like, I mean,
you just literally was like, all right, I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want.
Whatever I want to do.
And here you go. And
you guys were not running around collecting DNA from the fucking. All right, that's you know what that is? You know what that is? That is a corny shoehorn taken straight out of Spider-Man Homecoming. Oh, look at this. Wait, maybe it's like, well, yeah, who else is gonna pick up all the trash from the Battle of New York? So why not give it to the villain who is gonna use the tech from the Chitauri to create, to sell weapons on the street to make money?
That is more plausible versus
it is, but it's a shoehorned version of that though.
This makes a lot more sense because it's like, all right, who cleaned up all this crap that all these aliens kind of left behind? We have a division that did that, but guess what? You had people who worked there that you laid off and did that. But it's not like a picking up DNA from.
Did you have to clean up though? Because they were everybody was dusted away. Like,
you're talking about from the first Avengers?
No, from I'm talking about like the comparison between the two. Like the Secret Invasion. What they did with like the sending the team in to go get DNA. That's basically just like the lazy version of what they did for Spider-Man Homecoming. I like what they did for Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
I'm saying they took that idea and they were like, oh yeah, we made a team that went in and got all the
not just any team.
It's like, no, you fucking didn't.
No, scroll team.
No, you fucking didn't. All right, you did not.
It wasn't just any team. It was a team of scrolls.
They were dust. They were dust, like thrown away, collected away.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't they have? They had somebody's arm, didn't they? They had Cole's arm, didn't they?
Yeah,
from
they got that.
Battle.
Yeah, from the first battle. So that's where they're able to get like some of the earlier
from
stuff.
Ma and but like no, you didn't.
Guys. Yeah, no, you did. Yeah, it's like if they dusted away, did their like blood and other DNA kind of dusted away when they all got kind of woof?
I would imagine so. Perhaps.
I bet
all their material dusts away too. Like I don't know, man.
It's going to be like that Fast 10 thing where they'll just super Photoshop Jason Momoa in the back of the scenes where, like, hey, he was in this. They're gonna show just scrolls just kind of running around with a vacuum cleaner.
That's how they figured out the Battle of New York. It was a scroll just IG living while they were picking up blood. Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa, ducking stuff like, whoa, need this, catch that in midair. Whoa, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, right, dog. Like, that is the whole thing is just stupid. They really fumbled the bag here, and they need to apologize immediately because the Loki trailer was not an apology.
I'll still watch it, but
oh yeah, but I'm still nervous. And I know it's exactly what's going to happen is that I'm going to be excited the first 2 to 3 episodes. And then episodes 4 is going to hit, and there's going to be a lot of shit going down, but nothing really happening. And then episode 5 is going to hit, and I'm going to be like, okay, how do we land this?
Yeah, because how short that Secret Invasion episode was, and how they were stretching out them killing Rhodey for the longest time. He could have died way before that. Y'all tried to have like a hostage situation going on.
Oh, he could have died
so bad. He could have died so long ago. If that was like the end goal, was just all right, we're just gonna kill him anyway. But like, why are you trying to talk him down? It's like, obviously you kill the scroll that's impersonated. Yeah. So the president can know, like, yo, this is happening. Hey, like, it
was dumb. It was bad. It was poorly written. They didn't know what they were doing. They were flying by the seat of their pants. It felt like they were just writing every episode after.
I still don't
each one came out.
Yeah, I still don't know where that $260-something million budget went into. It still doesn't make a lick of sense. It literally don't make a lick of sense.
Wow.
It was literally
exactly. Batman's even tired of it.
Yeah, Batman's
it went into the actors' salaries is where it went.
Oh, so they can keep Emilia Clarke. All right, so this is what the thing I was talking about previously, like how they were paying Emilia Clarke so much money in Game of Thrones for not saying too much. You'll say that you'll be in there for like a couple of minutes, but you'll still get like a shit ton of money just for showing it up. I think that's what it is. And I think the Emilia Clarke stock is whoever her agent is doing a great job, because she is really not that popping or really that fly for you to, we need to pay her big money. She's not an A-lister. She was on a popping show and she had a popular character that didn't stick the landing in their show. But other than that, after Game of Thrones, what has Emilia Clarke been in that was a blockbuster hit? Terminator flopped.
I know.
Terminator flopped. And what else? Nothing. That she is a C-level actress that got lucky on a big show.
Damn.
Let's just call a spade a spade. She is not.
Okay, all right.
She does not command like big top tier. Like, you literally have Academy Award actors and actresses in your movies and shows.
Is she not one? I'm sorry, I don't know much about her. I didn't actually watch Game of Thrones. So.
She didn't win nothing. She ain't got nothing to her name as far as accolades, except for having one of the most popular names amongst babies, probably like, a certain year. Other than that, she has not carried
people naming their babies. There are people naming their babies after that.
They're naming them Khaleesi, not even Daenerys. That was the funny thing about it.
After the evil one,
right?
The evil version, right? That was like her alter ego, evil.
She was Khaleesi, the mother of dragons. Yeah, but
wow, naming your babies after evil people, that's crazy.
Man, you know what's crazy is that they gave her all these powers, and like, you're trying to make her like she's a big character. They need to kill her off somehow. She needs to get killed off. They need to kill her off.
Now you can't make that believable. You at this point in time, you can't get me to believe that she's killable.
She can. They're gonna sneak something in there, like we were able to assassinate her for some way, and kind of just, or they're gonna like take, or she's gonna be like, you know what's gonna happen? This is gonna be the stupid reason why she's not gonna be as OP going forward. Oh, I cannot take all this power. Get it out of my body. This is not meant for me. I don't need this anymore. And then they're going to be like, all right, we're going to extract all the DNA out of you so you can just be a regular ass scroll again. They're going to find some dumbass way to do it that way. She's not going to be this OP. They're going to reverse the engineer that shit.
The whole time while you were out gathering DNA, I was coming up with a cure. A way to reverse the polarities and the centrifugal force of all of the things in your body, and here it is.
Hey, it's
directly into your bloodstream.
Hey, it's science. Shut up.
Yeah, science.
It's comic book science.
That's science stuff, right? Centrifugal force.
Yeah, it's something in there. It's comic book science. We know comic book science. It ain't got to make sense.
Comic book logic. Like that's all you need.
That's all you need.
That's all you need is comic book logic. And even that show lacked comic book knowledge. If I was reading this in a panel, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I would.
This makes no sense. Especially if I was reading it from a continuous story. It would make no sense to me at all.
Oh yeah, and there's like comics that actually did this whoever's writing this comic, you really didn't pay attention to nothing that happened in this in the previous series at all. It's just like, you're just doing your own thing now, and that's what it came down to. And also, I don't like the fact that even Kevin Feige, Mr. Nerd himself, remember I told you he told the director of the Marvels,
yeah, what are we doing?
You're getting too nerdy. Huh? Like what? Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, what are we? That's how we roll here, dude. Like, what do you want from us? This is literally a nerd community. Like,
that's what you want. And this is what the director said. He was like, oh yeah, like the biggest challenge was finding the balance between my point of view as a director and as a comic book nerd. Obviously, there are changes between the comics and the movies, and sometimes I'm like, whoa, with Nia DaCosta kind of said, and there's a little bit more to it where Kevin Feige is like, all right, you're kind of nerding out a little bit too much. Drag it back a little bit, which is like, no.
Why are we telling our people that?
No, because that's what.
Why would you tell the guy that to dial up? I mean, like, I'm so frustrated. I'm like flipping my keyboard around here. Like, I just, I don't even like it. It doesn't make any sense. It makes me fidget. I don't.
But even saying that, I'm not saying that the Marvels is gonna be a bad movie at all. I don't think it's gonna be a bad movie, but it's kind of like, we could have had. And not like maybe some missed opportunities might have.
It does not look like a good movie. It looks like a completely unforgettable villain. It looks like a side quest movie. It really does. It doesn't look like it. I don't know.
Maybe
Brie Larson looks like she doesn't want to be there.
Not my
Brie.
She does. My Brie. She wants to be there. It's
she
just
doesn't
the fans are being.
It's
like the other people just being assholes about it. Y'all leave my Brie alone.
I'm never gonna leave her alone. She's an asshole.
No, she isn't. She isn't.
From one asshole to another.
She isn't. She isn't. And I think far from it. She is a lovable person that plays Animal Crossing, and she's a fantastic human. Stop it.
All right. Well. The views of some do not reflect the views of others. So.
Yeah, the views of mine. Told you, I get it. You guys don't like Brie Larson. Okay, I get it. She's skinny. She's anorexic.
That's not even my problem.
Y'all can take the little shots and stuff, from her, but it's.
I don't think her being skinny is the problem. I just like throughout the movie as I'm watching it, she just as I'm watching the trailer, she just looks disinterested.
But All right, go watch Captain Marvel again. That's her.
Not Captain Marvel.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Kobo? He joined in.
He did join in. I don't know who that is.
A better headspace. She is in a better headspace. I agree.
Oh, so now we have two defenders. So now I'm on my own here. Okay.
No,
I'm out on an island. I feel it. I can dance. I can bob and weave, man. I'm not. She just seems disinterested. She doesn't seem like she wants to be.
Watch Captain Marvel again. She's kind of like deadpan. She's like the soldier kind of person, like, oh, this is what's going on. She's not a joyful person, like that's kind of yes, exactly. That's my homie right there. All the way from San Antonio down
wow, look at that. I don't know, man.
No. I think it's going to be because you got Kamala Khan. She is great. She's great. I like
Miss Marvel.
I like Miss Marvel. She did great.
And I like Monica Rambeau in what do you call it?
WandaVision.
WandaVision. I loved it all. But
the movie's going to be fine because I like how the 212. Oh, I thought you were telling the degrees, 210 degrees down there, 210.
I was gonna say, get out of there now, my friend.
Everyone is not living anymore.
Bro, you guys okay?
Shout out to San Antonio. Go
Scrambling,
But
fuck the thing is that's believable.
Yeah, versus anything here. But that movie is gonna be fine because I saw like some of the action scenes, how they can trade each other's position and powers and stuff like that, how they're doing that. There's going to be some fun action scenes. As far as how is that movie going to play into the larger scope of maybe phase 5 going forward in this multiverse stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're just establishing these people are going to be in the Avengers movies going forward, making you love characters now. I don't think we should get out of the headspace.
Gonna make me love these characters, though.
I think we should get out of the headspace of what we should stop looking 10 movies ahead and just focus on what's in front of us right now.
But even then, I'm not looking 10 movies ahead. I really truly do not think that this looks like a good movie.
All right.
I watched the trailer. I've watched both trailers. I really have. There's nothing, and I might be wrong because I said the same exact thing about Miss Marvel. And I was like, I have absolutely zero interest in this fucking show. I'm gonna watch it because I want to see how the story continues on.
Yeah, and
I have zero fucking interest in that show, and it turned out that I liked it. So I could be completely wrong.
Because what did Miss Marvel do very well in there? It did a good job at establishing good characters.
Well, right.
And Kamala Khan, they did a good job of establishing as a character and giving her a lot of personality. And I think this movie is going to establish, these are making you love these characters. Think about the previous phases with the old crew. What did those movies do? It made you like the characters first before you cared about anything Thanos was really about to do and where it is. So it made you want like, oh, at the end of the day, I care about these characters. I know them and I like them. When they get dusted, it hits you because I was with these characters when they were growing and learning through these movies.
You were at least giving me semi-decent movies and semi-likable.
The biggest thing I would say as far as what's going on, we're getting the TV shows are not kind of sticking the landings and they're becoming mediocre. And when you're dealing with the MCU, mediocre is really not the bar that you can go for. It's kind of like it's like the LA Lakers. It's like, oh, a championship or bust if we don't do this sort of thing. It's literally the MCU. It's either you're going to be good or you're going to suck.
I really wish Anthony was watching when you made this analogy because I've made this analogy before and he laughs at me every fucking time.
What about
championships? This is what I tell him. I'm like, Marvel they are a championship level team. Like they're a championship franchise. You expect a Super Bowl or an NBA championship or a Stanley Cup every fucking year, or like you at least expect to like contend for one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are making a lot of series, but the series are like, they're hit. But see, Kobo, they're hit or miss because even the shows, if you go back and kind of actually watch the shows are technically not bad shows, but they're not bangers. Some of them aren't bangers. You had a couple of bangers and a few like okay shows.
When you had like, okay, so like for me, like again, it was like coming out of the gates too. Like WandaVision was one of those ones where it was like the first couple episodes we were interested, but you were kind of like in the mystery of like, oh, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? And when like the final episode, like they stuck the landing on that one. Like that was
Watch
good
it again.
TV.
Watch it again.
I've watched it, not necessarily sticking the landing in the sense of like, no, I would think they stuck the landing on that.
No, and this is and I think they kind of stuck the landing, but I guess we can kind of do hindsight on certain things now. I guess if you watched it at the time.
So yeah, well, they stuck the landing until Doctor Strange came out.
Yeah, and that's
like the problem though. But like WandaVision on itself, in its own merit, as you were watching it, you couldn't wait for Multiverse of Madness.
In a sense, I put WandaVision in a way that Secret Invasion kind of did it. It's like you are leading us down this trail and this like kind of, I would say, rabbit hole, this whole like anticipation through the whole thing, and then Quicksilver was just some random guy with a dick joke attached to his name, and then and you got that attached to it, and like everybody, because you got to remember during the time when WandaVision was out, everybody was like, oh, is this going to lead to Mephisto? Oh, where's this? They were like picking the episodes apart to kind of like figure out what's going on, and that's
what I loved about it. I think that's in hindsight, like that's actually what I loved about it, was that when that show was rolling out, it was still given within like, it was giving the MCU some mystery. And
so I think the series are solid, but the hit or miss comes from the expectations people have, and they just write it off and didn't go the way they wanted. A lot of the time, it didn't go. They did. That's where I say sometimes the laziness and sort of the continuity kind of falls apart. And it's like you say, yes, WandaVision was a hit, but if Multiverse of Madness isn't a hit, it kind of falls on what happened in WandaVision. You kind of have to look at that in a different way.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like when you look at it with the glasses, right, and you see later on, you're like, okay, Multiverse of Madness fell on its head. Now a lot of that story in WandaVision seems, I don't know what you'd want to call it, like unnecessary. Like it doesn't feel like it has any meaning to it anymore.
It doesn't.
And then you go back and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're gonna make an Agatha Harkness show. It's like, why?
Because
and then it's like right. But even though like her character was great in the show, like, but her character served the purpose in the show, it was fine. You didn't need it. And then they were like, we're gonna make it. And then they're like, we're gonna cancel this.
They need to they need to cancel that show. It's all
they did cancel the show.
Agatha,
I'm pretty sure they like quietly canceled. I think that's one on Bob Iger's chopping list.
I think its head is right on the gallows.
Yeah, we can consider it canceled at this.
Or point. I mean, like on the chopping block. Yeah, they're all
it's definitely it's on death row. Nobody wants that fucking show, and they know it. And again, that attaches it to WandaVision, and so like the show itself kind of like lends to, and that's, I think it's gonna, for me, for like Captain America, like it's either gonna elevate that show or it's gonna send it back down again for me, because I watched it again and I still felt the same way that I felt as I watched it, was that like this is just like as Ant coined it, a backyard barbecue story. Like I felt like you could have I really felt like you could have just told me this story in about 30 minutes, and I did not I can't buy into Sharon being the broker. I understand that she was a high level CIA shield operative, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it was shield.
But I can't get behind her like building an entire fucking empire during the snap.
She can, because she has all the secrets. She knows everything that's going on, and that's what makes certain characters that much, deadly or that much cunning if they don't have superpowers. But guess what? I know the secrets. I know how to manipulate people. I know how to work this. That's why, let's jump into DC a little bit, like how Two-Face works. He's a district, he's the DA. I know how crime works, so that's why I can evade Batman, or I know how this stuff works. I've dealt with the worst criminals of all time. I know the law system. I know where this goes on. It's just knowing about the inner workings of something can be more valuable than I can punch through a wall and do this. I know how to work through in the shadows. I know how to work things covertly. And that is way more valuable, because the person that can punch through a wall and be more, bang, 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 they're not as smart as that person. I have the smarts over you. I'm 10 steps ahead of you. I know how to work this a lot better than you. All right, once you get me, but guess what? You can punch my head in, but I'm 10 steps ahead of you. And if you kill me, man, I got 10 steps ahead of you. And so being that way,
I don't know, man. The way that, yeah, but the Court of Owls have been around for fucking ever. Sharon's been around. Sharon's like 34 years old, and she's been around. She's been trying to run an empire since the fucking snap. Since the blip. Like, there's no you can't compare the like.
That's 5 years of nobody running anything, and I got all. I'm sure that there were people running all the weapons.
But I can't get behind her building that thick of an empire and that much of like a dominant thing.
5 years is a long time to do some 5
stuff. Years, it is a long time, but
uncontested with no real superheroes around, so I can get my shit off the best where I have no resistance of no superheroes around. It's Tom. I
like Thomas Elliott too. Hush.
Yeah.
But
so I would say, yeah.
I don't know, man.
I
don't know. See, I can't. There's just something about it that I can't get behind.
But
I don't know why. Because maybe in my own mind, her empire is larger than it actually is.
It really isn't that. It's just the fact, like, she's kind of she's one of the top people in the in the underworld sector, because you still got Shang-Chi's sister and stuff, and
that's what I'm saying. Like,
you have other people that are in there, so she knows about her and all these other people. It's just not one person ruling the whole underworld. And kind of
I know, but wherever she's at, wherever like everybody's afraid of her, I'm like. I mean, I guess
in certain parts, it's just like we can go back to again, like Gotham and the DC part. There's so many different other factions. So you have the Court Owls. You might have all these other people around, all these different factions of people. Like the Falcons and all this kind of like crimes families and all that. They still play a big part, but they all know about each other.
I don't know, man. I don't know. There was something about it to me that was not clicking. It just didn't feel. It felt like the shrouded in the secrecy and all this stuff. It felt very like ancient, been around for a long time.
Yeah, I think you're giving. I think you're giving her way too much power. When I was
watching the show, that's how they did it. Like they had the Watcher everywhere. Like they had the shit.
It's a section.
Over.
It's only a little section of the crime world. It wasn't the whole totality of everything. It's just a section.
But that's what they made it feel like in the show.
Well,
they really made it feel like this. Like it was.
It's the show. You have to do that in the show. You have to sell your villains and everybody else. You don't want to make them as minuscule as possible because you didn't believe it. You gave her
believe it.
You gave her more power than she really had, and I think that's where you're kind of.
If it was just a club, sure, I could probably believe.
But she's not that low level. She's not that low level. She's on the level of someone. I got this part of the crime world and this part of this area of the world. This is mine. You can have this part of the world over here, but if you come over here, you know who you got to talk to. It's like checking in. All right, if I am,
I know that, but
she's
just not believable. Maybe it's the actress too. I don't know. She's just not. It's just not believable to me. I don't know why. I can't get behind her running the show down there.
She can, because you also got to think of where she came from, where she's attached to. And she has a reason for not doing that. It's like, oh, everybody got exonerated from their crimes, and I'm the one that still has to run.
Yeah,
everybody else was clear, but I'm the one. So it's kind of like, fuck you. All the secrets that I have and the things that I can obtain. All right, I'm just gonna do my thing and go on with that.
It just didn't click for me.
Well, who knows if we're gonna even see her in anything else? We're gonna see her in the new Captain America.
Movie. Yeah, probably.
We're gonna see her in the new Captain America movie. She's gonna show up. They're gonna need her for something. Just stop freaking the leader,
Everett Ross. The League of what are they called? The Thunderbolts. No, they're getting their own movie.
They're getting their own movie. No, remember the leader's coming back from the Hulk. The first Hulk, the MCU Hulk. So like,
that's right.
Whatever happened to him, he's going to be the main villain, which I'm fine with. And they say that we might divert from that. Speaking of the old Hulk movie, if there was going to be a sequel, did you see that article where they said if they were going to do a Hulk sequel, that the Gray Hulk was going to show up, and they were going to have multiple Red Hulks apparently.
Why?
There might be like one or two. I don't know why.
This one's talking about, dude, but for why? Like why? Why oversaturate? Let the market, let the world build itself. Like you don't need that shit.
But I say this, so maybe multiple Red Hulks in a sense that they're not going to be as strong as the Hulk. But remember, the leader still had some of the Hulk's DNA. He's probably like working on stuff, injecting other people with that to build like an army. So I get that in the sense that if you want to continue, because you're already setting up the leader already.
A Rainbow Hulk army.
Yeah, with all the
different colors and shit.
Hey, if that was to happen, and then they did their kind of version of again, they do this a lot. Just name alone World War Hulk. Just name alone and kind of like build off of that. If it could have been done right, it could work.
It could
in a way. It could work in a sense. In that kind of way, you send Hulk in maybe. If they did inject some people and then send that's the thing with all these different types of Hulks. What do you mean with the different types of Hulks?
Yeah, what's the thing?
Yeah, what do you mean, Kovo? Like all the different types of Hulks, like they can all the different powers. Because everybody kind of did do the whole gamma. There's different people who did the gamma thing. Because you had Samson and all these other people that had the. They had those kind of people that did the game, but with the movies, instead of doing that, you can like how they're doing it right now, inject people with Hulk blood and see how that turns out.
Give them the vial. Who knows if that DNA even mixes, dude? Like, I mean,
it mixes. Who knows what happens?
No, it'll be fine. There better not be a Logan sequel. Logan is one of the greatest fucking superhero movies of all time. Comic book movies of all time. They better not fucking around and try to do a
Oh
sequel.
yeah. Oh no, there's not going to be a Logan sequel. Oh
You
no.
can't do that. You can't do that.
I think that timeline or whatever thing that they're doing with that one, that's dead. And then whatever Wolverine we're getting in Deadpool
I think that's X-Men's. Yeah. Have you watched that movie in the noir version? 100% the way to go.
Oh yeah, the Logan one. No, I have not seen it.
It is 100%. That's the way that movie was meant to be made and watched. Is in noir. It's fucking incredible.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Check.
I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people that like a black and white version can't be better than the colored version, but it is.
Yeah, Kobe. Yep, that's what I was saying.
It doesn't make sense, but it is.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. But yeah, Kobe made a point. Yeah, all the different Hulks. If that was like in a movie and that kind of led to like said, just the name alone, a World War Hulk. Kind of like, you had the gray Hulk, the green one, red, you have Samson and those guys, and you just have everybody.
That ugly ass version of whoever they put in She-Hulk.
Oh, that guy. Bro. And and Kobe said, that was the only ending that he didn't like. I know you didn't like, so you guys have that in common that you guys didn't like the She-Hulk. Especially the
that at first. I was excited, and then like the more and more I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute, that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Why is he here?
Yeah. Do that.
I was like, it's like seeing a buddy that you haven't seen in a long time, and then you have no idea why they're actually there. Like, oh, wait, why are you here? What are you even doing here?
And I'll say, She-Hulk. Compare She-Hulk. What would you say? Which one was? I know it's the comparing getting kicked in the nuts and like punched in the stomach. Which one was the better finale out of She-Hulk and Secret Invasion? They both weren't good, but you like, all right.
I don't remember the ending of She-Hulk, to be perfect. Like, are we talking like the ending, like where they're all at the barbecue having?
No, the whole episode.
They like skip the whole fight and they're like, oh, with Kevin Feige the robot and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Secret Invasion and give me the Secret Invasion. Fuck no, dude. That whole thing, and then Feige coming out saying I didn't even have the time to do my own voice, bro. Get the fuck out of here. You don't even have time to do your own voice as the Kevin robot. Like,
yeah,
they gave you the hat but not the voice. Like, all right, dog. Like, you even knew it was silly at that point. You knew you had the time. You're the head of of Marvel. Like, you had the time. You just knew that shit was dumb and you did not want to actually attach your voice to it. Let's just call it what it is.
He didn't. Yep, and
that was a poor decision.
He's stepping a lot more away from doing these kind of shows and stuff. But again, what you saying? If they did an Agents of Smash not in the movie, that would be. I told you there was a lot of stuff they could have done if they were to do the Hulk 2 and they were gonna have multiple Hulks kind of just be around. You could have sprout that off into something else. You could. They could have. I wouldn't turn it down initially at all because everybody right now is clamoring for a Hulk movie with Mark Ruffalo. They want a movie with Mark Ruffalo. They want one bad.
But here's the thing: is that if it's done right, it's done right. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but you gotta do it right.
They can't. Let's not forget Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was a good movie. It ended that series
beautifully.
It ended
not even the way that I expected it to end, and it still ended beautifully.
And it did a freaking good job at it. And you can definitely do that. Again, you need to care. You need to establish these movies as far as us caring about the characters first. We need to do that first. And I think instead of thinking like, the Marvels, what's going to happen in this? No, go in there for a movie that has a villain, but how are they going to do the characters? How are we going to care about these characters when Kang Dynasty shows up? When Secret War shows up? How are we going to care about these characters when that time comes by? That's what we need to worry about these movies going forward, because that's why we cared about Captain America. That's why we cared about Iron Man. It was their own villains that they had to take care of. They weren't taking care of big level villains in those movies. So in their own movies.
Yeah.
They were building up their character. How we care about these people. You need to do that first, and then when the Avengers time comes around, then you bring the people in and bring the bigger villains and do it that way.
Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like, though, you know, the first 10 years, granted, because there was that, like, it was well established who the Avengers were gonna be, because at the end of Iron Man, you had the whole Avengers Initiative talk with Nick Fury.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, like, the subsequent movies after that, you're like, oh, okay, Thor. Oh, okay, Captain America. Oh, okay. And then you're kind of like, oh, you're slowly building towards the event. And like you got, whereas now post MCU, you had the Avengers, you have, and now you're kind of like just throwing characters left and right, and you don't really have any direction with where they're going. Like, you gave us the new Hawkeye, like you gave us Haley Steinfeld, and then like I don't know the next project she's gonna be in.
Young
Avengers. We don't know
when
she's, you know what I mean? Yeah, but when the fuck is that coming out?
Did you look at that timeline that where they had when it was Phase 6, where they only had Fantastic Four and not Infinity War, Secret Wars, and they had like four movies where 4 dates where there was movies and stuff supposed to be at. You're gonna throw the Young Avengers in there.
So that's what. So we're talking what? How many years down the road now? And she's been in one TV show. She's had 6 episodes of a TV show.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna put her in something.
That wasn't even. That was just a passing of the torch. Like, she still had to compete with the other, like, main character, with the beloved Jeremy Renner. It's not like she got launched into her own TV show and we fell in love with her.
She might show up in Echo. I don't think she is. Why am I talking?
And then you know what I mean?
Echo show.
Like, right. And then it's like you have Cassie Lang. She showed up in Quantumania, but like, who the fuck knows when she, like, it's not like she got a passing of the torch movie. Like, it's not like she got her own movie or TV show. Like, it's
recast.
You know what I mean?
Lang. Get the old actress in there.
Hashtag. So, like, to me, like, it just, and then we're getting Kamala Khan. Like, Kamala Khan got her own, you know, and then it's like, but then now she's getting thrown into the Marvels, and she's a part of this team, and it's like, okay, so who? You guys, like, who is the next? You know what I mean? Like, or are you guys just gonna like throw shit at us again willy nilly for Secret Wars or for Kang Dynasty again? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where I'm at. Is that, like, it's not like you've really established who the team is going to be, which
they
makes
are a
sense
little bit
anyways. Now that I'm thinking about it, because like the whole Avengers Initiative, the first go around in the initial MCU is Nick Fury's Avengers Initiative, and you don't really have Nick Fury anymore, so you don't have somebody trying to put together a government task force. So I get it. Like, they're gonna have to come together as their own thing in one giant battle as shit's going crazy in New York, which these things tend to take place.
Yeah,
but you know,
fuck that place up.
Yeah, but I don't know, the chaos of it. I hope it blends to make sense, because because we have a lot of characters that have been introduced and thrown at us in the last few years, and a lot of things that don't really add up. And I'm not even really like looking towards like the future. I'm looking at right now, and I'm like, okay, I'm like looking at it like a math equation. I'm like, this doesn't. None of this shit adds up. I'm still at the part of the equation with the Celestial.
Yeah, but Kobo put up a big point too. And I think that's also something that is also due to that what the Thunderbolts is a government put together team. So we do have Julia Louis-Dreyfus Fontaine character, and that might be a launching point of like, okay, but that is kind of like their Suicide Squad. But maybe how
that is like
bad how bad they mess up with whatever's going on. Because remember, I think I told you Sentry might be the villain in that. It's like, okay, we actually need to get a legit team together.
Yeah.
We need a new Avengers team, and that probably might be the end of that. And
but the Thunderbolts thing, it kind of makes sense because they're a government-based thing. So it's like, again, to you, it's like the Suicide Squad. So she's Amanda Waller, and she's like, hey, Crisis, you fuckheads, go deal with it. And we kind of get like this action-packed one-off, maybe two-off series, but like the Thunderbolts aren't going to be in conflict with the Avengers per se.
And that's what I'm saying. They're gonna fuck up so bad in their movie, then they'll be like, all right, we need to put actual legit better team than this together. And then that's where we're gonna get maybe an Avengers team put together in that space.
Okay.
Yeah. And put together that kind of way, or something like told you, get something like the Young Avengers and that, and then you're gonna establish maybe the different Avengers team around that time. If they start using mutants, man, that mutants is gonna come. I hope they bring that a lot sooner than later. Bring in the mutants. I hope they do. That would be a good because there's still some open spots in the timeline for I think even Phase 5 that they can bring in something like that. I swear they thought they were going to bring in a Doctor Doom movie or something. Or
do you think Doctor Doom? Do you want an established Doctor Doom in this, or do you want like the established OP Doctor Doom in this upcoming Fantastic Four, or do you want like a mid-level, like he's already got the mask, but he hasn't figured it all out yet, or do you want like a starting new level? Him and Reed Richards are still chums. And they
pretty much enemies kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to happen in the fan. We're not going to get an established Doctor Doom unless they do a Doctor Doom type of, one-off movie like, Werewolf by Midnight sort of thing. If they do something like that for Doctor Doom, then you can get something like that. But it seems like what they're doing with this Fantastic Four movie. Have you seen some like the casting news that they?
No, I haven't seen the casting news. The latest I saw was like the 1950s time jump.
No, old girl from the new Mission Impossible movie, blonde hair girl. That's from the last two. They're saying that she is going to be Sue Storm.
Okay.
And what they're talking about too, as far as the villain might be, they might shift it. But I think this is a big, tall order, and I don't think this is going to happen. Galactus.
Why?
Exactly. That's why I'm not taking that. Yeah, I'm taking that rumor with the most grain of salt on this planet. That's way too big.
Yeah, you can't. No.
An evil Tony Stark, but Dr. Doom. So like a smart ass Dr. Doom. Yeah, Dr. Doom is pretty much kind of like a smart ass already, but he's more of a cocky.
Yeah, he's a cocky
person.
Bitch. So is Tony Stark, but
you know what? That is a good thing. So giving you like an evil Tony Stark, like he's a very quippy Dr. Doom, but he's an asshole because you kind of think about like how people. Like Loki's an evil villain, but people love Loki.
Yeah, but he's mischievous. I don't know if
he's mischievous, but he's an asshole.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
But he's an asshole. But if you get a Doctor Doom that's not like kind of like how the comic book version is, but you kind of like make him like a snarky asshole type of person. I would actually like to see that on there and kind of just make it their own. Because let's be clear. our mindset of what Iron Man is basically Robert Downey Jr., and that was not always what Iron Man was. Now, but what Iron Man is going forward, it has to be Robert Downey Jr. That's just beaten to our heads.
Even the voice actors try to sound like him.
Yep, even the voice
newer
actors,
age cartoons and shit. The voice actors,
cartoons, video games, they all try to sound like Robert Downey Jr. He's the standard now.
He's just like Kevin Conroy is the standard for Batman. If you go back and try to watch any other live or not live, but
animated stuff,
animated Batman, all of them try to throw their own little
versions of that Batman, the Kevin Conroy's Batman,
Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill's Joker too. Casey Jones or whatever the fuck. I think he does the best outside of Mark Hamill in the voice one, but he has his own little like Mark Hamill spin on it. Like the gold standard. Yeah,
that's a standard, but completely do like a 180 of like what a Tony Stark, like who he's supposed to be, is literally Robert Downey Jr. and anything that is not that. I don't think that's a good Tony Stark. That's not how Tony Stark is. You mean the Tony Stark that had been established 10 years ago?
Yeah, all that everybody knows now.
So it's like they can do that with Dr. Doom completely. It's like make your own thing, but then that can be the standard for that. So
because you don't need like the leader of Latveria, Dr. Doom, quite yet.
Yeah, you don't need that. Yeah, because that's a little bit more old school kind of villainy sort of thing. So if you put a spin of because the thing is you have to establish Dr. Doom like he is the shit as far as the smarts, knowing this, he knows magic stuff and incorporates that.
Oh, Dr. Doom top 5. Dr. Doom OP.
Yeah, he's good. That's why he's always
Doom goes crazy.
Yeah. And having that kind of, and he's a cocky son of a bitch, and that tends to be his downfall a lot of the times is his cockiness. And yes, Dr. Doom is, they can do that. So having that as
because them other movies didn't do him justice at all.
No,
they made him such a punk ass.
They put him in a storage container.
Oh my god, they made him such a bitch.
Yeah, they did.
It's just unreal. You can't do.
And we got also I also saw something about they might be Silver Surfer might show up too. They might got some casting.
I mean, if they're doing like the time travel thing and they're gonna be going through the 50s and they're stuck in some wormhole type. I mean, yeah, sure, I can see it.
I can see it. Yeah, Silver Surfer.
As long as you do it right.
Yeah, and not have Galactus, a big, huge fucking fart cloud in the sky, like in the Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Oh my god, yeah. What was that? What was that? He was a fart cloud.
Like he's smart, but goes on a journey while everything was going on and learn magic. That's what I'm saying. If they do like a quick one shot off like Werewolf by Midnight and do like a story like a Dr. Doom origin and establish him, they won't do it. They won't do it.
You know what they should do?
They should do it.
They should spend the first 7 to 12 minutes of the Fantastic Four movie of just Dr. Doom.
That's if he's going to be the main villain in it, but it sounds like he's not even going to be the villain in the movie. And everything that is kind of been talked about, like he's not even going to be
even
around at all. What it sounds like.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So then at that point, then he has to be established. He has to be an established Dr. Doom because if you're off running around dealing with other shit, you've probably already dealt with Dr. Doom at this point. Or you already know that your good friend Victor Von Doom is off the rails, and maybe Victor Von Doom actually was the one that sent him back to the 50s on accident, and they're trying to get back to him, but they have set an obstacle in front of them first.
So brings have a Doctor Doom established already. Again, do a little one shot, but yeah, he's the reason why they send him. They send the Fantastic Four back in time because they're fighting him.
Yeah, something. Yeah,
And do like that. But a Doctor Doom movie, I heard they were doing that, but I don't think they would do a Doctor Doom movie anymore. I don't think.
I mean, like you got it. But like, here's the thing: is that I mean, like, unless you're just like, unless Kevin Feige is just being like, okay, Secret Wars, don't read the comics, we're just taking the name. Hey, Kang Dynasty, don't read the comics, we're just taking the name. Hey, all these other movies, don't read the comics, we're just taking the name. If that's what we're gonna do, then okay, fine. But if that's not what we're doing, we have to have an established Doctor Doom because he's a massive part of Secret Wars.
Yes.
He's a massive part of Secret Wars.
True.
And you just cannot like fuck around and have like you know what I mean? So unless we're just not going with what the comic books do anymore, then sure, why not? You can just completely scrap him from Secret Wars anyway. But I don't think
you can. He's going to be in there. Him and Kang probably they're going to be like, you know,
that's what I mean. They butt heads hard as fuck.
So if they butt heads with each other in that kind of thing, yeah, I see that.
Doom, you can't do it in the movie, but like Doom in the comic book, like just unceremoniously kills him.
And I can't see fuck yourself, pal. If we're doing Secret Wars, then Galactus in okay, yeah. So I can see
you have to establish like the Beyonder. Like we have a lot to talk about here before we get to Secret Wars.
I would say Beyonder, you can kind of not throw him in there, but I think sort of
you can't do it without Doctor Doom.
You can't Doctor Doom.
You have to have Doctor Doom.
Then you can throw in like if it's really true that Galactus might show up in the Fantastic Four movie, then okay, then he can be in Secret Wars too. But yeah, I want to see what they do with Doctor Doom because he, like you say, he is going to have to be established coming into this. You can't just throw, all right, the movie starts off and they're fighting Doctor Doom. Like, who the fuck is this goofy guy with the mask and in this hoodie, in this green little trench hoodie?
Yeah.
But there's something going on. And I remember something back in the day. Howard Stern mentioned something about a Doctor Doom movie that he might show up in it somehow.
That would be amazing.
Howard Stern, yeah.
What if Howard Stern is Doctor Doom?
Oh my goodness. Hey, Sue Storm, show me your tits.
Yes. Doom.
Oh,
I love Howard Stern back on the E channel.
Yeah.
Back in the day. What a great time.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Howard Stern as a Doctor Doom. Oh, then, yeah. No, that would be the worst thing.
Howard Stern is the Beyonder. All right. I'm going to get behind that one. Hashtag Howard Stern is the Beyonder.
The Beyonder, yes.
I can get behind that one.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God, bro. That's incredible.
I would, that $1 billion movie, the best movie of all time. Yes, Howard Stern. Yes, the motherfucking Beyonder.
Making Madam Web sit on the Orgasmo 4000.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's incredible. I'm gonna go back now and that's fucked up. I'm gonna go back now and watch the Spider-Man Secret Wars because that Beyonder's got is tall with long hair like that. Long ass body, so that could be a potential Howard Stern situation.
That's their reference. That's why they want Howard Stern to be there.
No.
Oh man.
He already had his origin movie too. It was called what was that? What was that movie?
Private Parts. Yeah.
Private Parts. Yeah.
So we ain't got to watch the 90s.
We already have an established. We already have an established villain there, story arc and all.
Now we know.
Exactly.
Yep. Oh man. Yep. That is the Beyonder. Yep. That can be Howard Stern. I'm looking at the the picture of it.
Yeah. Oh, of the Spider-Man one?
Yeah, the Spider-Man one.
Yeah, that might be like a you can't really
bit.
see it, but
yeah, I can't really see
that's
it.
Howard Stern.
Yeah, you can't really see it. Oh man,
If you make a Beyonder Howard Stern poster, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
and I would condone that behavior 110%.
Oh man, yeah, and then we'll put it on the show and show people.
Absolutely,
get it going.
We'll leave it as
put
a
it on
background
there.
instead of these line squiggles, dude. Could you imagine that
yeah,
as our background, as a Howard Stern?
yeah, the Beyonder Howard
As a
Stern.
Beyonder Howard Stern with an entire Secret Wars panel. He's just got all the different.
Yeah.
Fucking that's the whole point of it. Like, yeah, he's just running a shock jock show.
Yeah, running shock jock. Yeah, we get Robin and
Madam Web is Robin.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of multiversal type of shenanigans, they are doing, because we know DC is the king of animated movies.
The king,
top of the top, creme de la creme. They are doing a Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths animated movie.
Another one?
No. That I know which one you're talking about, and no, that wasn't it. I was looking because I said the same thing. I'm like, didn't they do this already? But no, that was like an offshoot of this one, so it wasn't the same one. Yeah.
Are we sure? Do I need to go back to HBO Max and pull this up? Do we need to pull some footage?
It isn't the same one. Trust me, I looked at it. It's not the same one. It is I forgot what it was.
Crisis on 2 Earths?
Yeah, 2 Earths.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't the same thing. I was like,
okay.
So the name, they kind of switched the name.
Those bastards. Those fuckers. Okay.
I said the same thing. I was like, wait a minute. Was this?
I'm pretty sure we watched. I was like, I'm pretty sure they did this already. Are they going to take another crack at it? Okay, so they didn't. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, is this the same thing from there? But no, this one was different from I think they're gonna follow more so the comic. Parallel Planet, Superman and Batman and other heroes.
I'm rereading the description of this. I'm gonna have
the other one was they had their evil counterparts, where the other one where you kind of have
President Slade Wilson. That's incredible. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this again because I am remembering it, but I'm
movie.
I'm gonna watch this tonight because I got to stay up late this evening anyway. That's kind of why I'm just so cool with this casual conversation. 2-hour long conversation because I got to stay up late tonight anyway. But fuck it.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to watch that one. That sounds like a good one.
Yep. So that one is so they're gonna be following more of the.
So they are really making a Crisis of Infinite Earths.
Yeah, movie.
Animated.
Yep, animated movie.
No way.
So that one's coming.
That is a tall order.
They can do it. I got that. And around that same time, they're doing the Watchmen one too.
Really? Ooh, 2024 and Watchmen. Wow.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, all right, I'm down. I'm down just because.
Okay, I need a trailer. I need a trailer.
So I'm all for it.
Woo! I need a trailer. Give me the trailer.
Oh yeah, well.
Jensen Ackles is Batman again. Is he pretty much established now as the animated Batman going forward?
Probably.
I'm okay with it. He does a pretty good job.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
He's halfway decent.
Yeah.
Just kidding. He does a pretty good job. I do enjoy him.
Yeah.
He would have made a pretty good live action Batman had they caught him young enough, in his supernatural days.
He can do it right now. He can do it right now. He can do it right now. He's not bad.
You know what I mean? If they would have caught him in his supernatural days and would have given him you know, kind of like the Robert Pattinson style Batman role, and like kind of let him be young and build up to it a little bit. A few movies. Could have got down on that. He could have been a good. He would have been a good Batman.
He's got the look. He's got the look and everything.
Chops.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
CW needs to stop ruining fucking people's careers and shows.
He's fine. He's on different shows. He's on The Boys.
He's Soldier Boy now. Yeah, he's doing great.
He's on The Boys. He was on a different
Supernatural is a cult classic. People still did love it. I'm just not happy with the way that it steered after about 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, it turned to more of a hate watch for me. But
you finished it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you brave soul, you. That's a whole nother 2-hour conversation.
Yeah, Soldier Boy, tell him.
Yeah, I love me some Soldier Boy, man. I tell you what,
Soldier Boy, tell him.
You.
But what I was gonna say about Supernatural, like I think I mentioned this before, like when they had like the Supernatural convention here, and that Castiel actor got beat up and robbed. It's like, oh man.
You know, buddy, just stay away.
Yeah, stay away from here in the convention center. If you're gonna hang out in downtown, go hang out in Northeast Minneapolis, North Loop.
Yeah, those are great areas.
Yeah, don't
where I'm at.
Don't hang out. Yeah, don't be in downtown Minneapolis. I know they're trying to establish something different down there, you guys. I want
bullshit.
I want people, these actors from these lovely shows, to come here and not be afraid to stay after nighttime.
Yeah.
And hang out. I want to possibly have a beer, with Castiel one of these days, or
I can.
Carl Urban whenever he wants to show up or something like that.
Good night, Kobo Fit.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Thanks for dropping by, man. That was good to see you. Thanks for doing that, man. Real peace out, man. Probably, man. We had a nice, healthy length on this pod.
For this one, we're going on 2 hours.
Yeah, we can probably start to wrap it up unless you got any more.
I would say so. I've got nothing left. I mean, like we could just nerd out for hours and hours.
Yeah, we definitely can. This can turn into a 6-hour pod if need be. If you were trying to do like a marathon pod,
we could definitely marathon it.
We could, but you know what? We don't want to because we don't have to.
Because we have lives outside of this.
Yes.
I just found out that I have a Crisis on 2 Earths movies to rewatch.
I know I might watch that too, just to.
I think I'm gonna, man. Now that I'm just in the mood for it now. This sounds like a good night.
Right, and just do something around like that. But so also Blue Beetle.
I've already acquired said shirt.
You got your shirt?
I got my shirt.
And now this is all right. We'll talk about something a little bit more, just a little bit after the pod. But yes, we are going to be doing Blue Beetle.
Yes.
We're going to be seeing that. And yeah, we're going to be letting y'all know what's going to be going on. Catch us on the flip side. Make sure to follow the Instagram page. Getting on socials, more socials, but definitely we enjoy everybody that stopped by. Will, Matt, GMS, Kobo, all you guys. Everybody. Thanks for joining in on this pod. Yes. All right, you guys. Until next time, we will see you again.
Hopefully, we will see you again.
Oh, yeah, you will. Well, they're going to see us at Blue Beetle.
They are going to see us at Blue Beetle. You will see us again. Hopefully next week, too. We got some other shit. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.